Hey, what's up guys? DiMatteo here. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 ground ISP competitors for Starlink. Alright, so there are some terms you need to be familiar with first to understand the differences between the value of these companies. If you're already familiar with download and upload speed terminology, you can skip ahead to the juicy competitor comparisons. Otherwise, let me take you on a quick journey of some common terms in the digital universe. First, let's start with ISP. This stands for Internet Service Provider. Basically, who are you paying to receive internet at your house and or your phone? Now, our speeds and data are measured in bits. So, what is a bit and how is it different from a byte? A bit is a tiny unit of data, and it's measured as bit rate, the number of bits transmitted per second. Bits per second is a measure of data speed. That's how fast you can download or upload something. Bytes are a measure of data volume. That could be the size of a file or storage space. 1 byte is made up of 8 bits. So to convert a value from bits to bytes, just divide by 8. Bits are denoted with a lowercase b, while an uppercase B represents a byte. Here we can see some common prefixes of bits and bytes. Now the term kilo, or capital K, represents 1,000. That's 1,000 times the amount of bits that you are using. In this case, we're just using 1 bit. Times 1,000 is 1 kilobit. If we're using mega, which is most often used when we're talking about download and upload speeds, that would be a megabit. The megabit represents 1 million bits, a capital M with a lowercase b. If we're talking about giga, 1 gigabit is equal to 1 billion bits. And 1 terabit is equal to 1 trillion bits. And as you can see in the third column, if we're converting these to bytes, we would just divide by 8 for each. And the same thing in reverse in our fourth column. Alright, so when we measure download and upload speeds, we do this in megabits per second. But what exactly does download and upload speeds mean? Download speed refers to the rate that digital data is transferred from the internet to your computer. Think downloading files, loading a website, streaming a video, or even music. Upload speed refers to the rate that online data is transferred from your computer to the internet. Think sending emails, sending files to people, live video chats, and even gaming. Now, the more megabits per second, the faster your online activity should be. Some of the fastest download and upload speeds range from 100 to 2,000 megabits per second. Latency, also called ping, refers to the amount of time in milliseconds it takes for data to travel between 2 locations. Ideally, the lower the latency, the better internet or gaming experience you'll have. Satellite services in general will take a little longer because the distance between the 2 locations will always be greater than ground service. Bandwidth. This refers to how many bytes travel between 2 locations during a set time period. Bandwidth is typically measured in megabits per second. Let's quickly discuss some satellite terminology. LEO, or LEO, stands for Low Earth Orbit. Here, satellites are positioned at an altitude between 160 and 1,600 kilometers above Earth. MEO, or MEO, stands for Medium Earth Orbit. Here, satellites operate from 10,000 to 20,000 kilometers above Earth. On a side note, satellites do not operate between LEO and MEO because of the inhospitable environment for electronic components in that area, which is caused by the Van Allen radiation belt. GEO, or GEO, stands for Geostationary Orbit. Here, satellites rotate at the same rate as the Earth along a single line of longitude, 35,786 kilometers above Earth's equator, and following the direction of Earth's rotation. Now, it only takes 3 GEO satellites to provide global coverage, while it takes 20 or more satellites to cover the entire Earth from LEO and 10 or more in MEO. In addition, communicating with satellites in LEO and MEO requires tracking antennas on the ground to ensure seamless connection between satellites. Alright, now that we have a solid base of terminology, on to the top Starlink competitors. Before we jump into the top 5 ground ISP competitors, let's get some baseline information out of the way. The prices for high-speed internet currently range from $70 a month to $299 a month. In addition to that, some cap your data, charge equipment purchase or rental, and have installation fees and contracts. All of the Ground ISPs we'll be comparing will be based on the company's fastest upload and download internet plans, plus any other costs associated with the service, like renting or buying the modems, contracts, data caps, etc. They are ranked over the categories of download and upload speeds, latency, cost per month, upfront costs, data caps, availability, and term commitments. And ultimately, who would give Starlink a strong run for their money upon full release? Almost all of the Indian, Japanese, European, Asian, African, and South American ISPs are either considerably more expensive or do not provide close to the speeds and data that the states are offering, and therefore are not included in the list. Here are the top 5 Ground ISP competitors for Starlink. Number 5. Spectrum. The Spectrum Internet Gig plan starts at $110 a month. The advantages. They have a month-to-month option. They have a strong download speed of 940 megabits per second. There's no upfront cost. And they have a wide availability covering 44 states. They're also one of the lowest cost plans of all the Ground ISPs. The disadvantages. Their plan caps data at 1 terabyte. They have a higher latency of 24 milliseconds in comparison to the top ISPs. And finally, they have a weak upload speed of only 35 megabits per second. Number 4. Cox. The Cox Gigablast S plan starts at $99.99 a month. The advantages. They have the second fastest download and upload speeds of 1,000 megabits per second for each. They have a super low latency of 0.22 milliseconds. They are available in 19 states. The disadvantages. Their plan caps data at 1.25 terabytes with $10 overage charges for every 50 gigabytes. This is one of the more expensive plans out of the bunch. There is an upfront cost of $132. There is a 12-month contract with early termination fees. This could be up to $120. Number 3. AT&T. The AT&T Internet 1000 plan starts at $70 per month. The advantages, and is the most budget-friendly of the high-speed plans in our ranking. Equipment rental starts at $10 per month, and some promotions include free installation. Their plan does not cap data. They have a strong download and upload speed of 940 megabits per second for each. They have a low latency at 12.3 milliseconds. They are available in 21 states. Disadvantages. They have a required 12-month contract with an early termination fee of up to $180. There's also an upfront cost of installation of $100. Number 2. Verizon. For the Verizon Fios Gigabit Connection Plan, expect to spend at least $79.99 a month. The advantages. Their plan does not cap data. They have a strong upper range of download and upload speeds of 880 and 940 megabits per second respectively. They have a super low latency at 0.12 milliseconds. You can pay month to month, but a contract may offer a discount. The disadvantages. They have a limited availability. They're only available in 9 states. There's an upfront cost of installation of $100. And Starlink's biggest Ground ISP competitor is number 1, Comcast Xfinity. For the Xfinity Gig Pro plan, you can expect to pay at least $299 a month. The advantages. They have the fastest download and upload speeds of 2,000 megabits per second for each. This is untouchable at the moment. They have the lowest latency at -1 milliseconds. Again, untouchable. They're also available in 39 states, plus Washington, D.C. Most often, there's no installation fee. The disadvantages. There is a data cap at 1.2 terabytes. This is the most expensive plan of all the providers. There is a 12-month contract with an early termination fee. Here's a detailed breakdown of the top 5 Ground ISP competitors for Starlink. Finally, let's talk about SpaceX's Starlink and its specs. The setup is as easy as pointing it to the sky and plugging it in. You may need to bolt it to something like the roof of your house, RV, or boat, but either way it's the smallest and easiest to install of all the competitors. Currently, the coverage targets the northern United States and Canada, and it is expected to have near global coverage of the populated world by the end of 2021. The service is currently called Better Than Nothing Beta and costs $99 a month with an upfront $499 for the starter kit with the necessary equipment. According to Musk, Canada and Norway should be the first countries after the US to receive Starlink access as early as February 2021, and India access may come around the middle of 2021. Let's take a look at the advantages and disadvantages of Starlink using its current beta version stats. The advantages. It's already operating a better than nothing beta with current coverage of Canada and the northern US. They are building their own satellites. They are launching their own satellites. They already have the most satellites, roughly 900, in low Earth orbit. They are continually updating their beta version. Ground infrastructure is less expensive to deploy as their equipment is much smaller and much more cost effective. They have the fastest LEO download and upload speeds. They have the lowest latency among satellite providers. They currently beat the prices of those already in service. Building and launching satellites at a much faster rate at a much cheaper cost than their competitors. Their goal is for global coverage. They're the only satellite broadband provider to receive US grants to enhance or provide service to underserved locations. They're backed by a successful entrepreneur with the vision and engineering experience to assist in all levels of R&D, production, launch, maintenance, improvements, and service. Because they're part of a bigger mission to become a multi-planetary species, this may drive higher adoption rates. Globally, the cost will be cheaper with comparable if not faster speeds and provide more data than current ground ISPs. They have thousands of base stations worldwide. They can be an internet solution no matter where you go in the world. The disadvantages. They do not have the consumer and commercial relationships built that some of the other big players have. They only have 5 years of experience. It is susceptible to poor weather outages just like every other service. The upfront cost of $499 is a big barrier to entry for some. They currently have limited coverage. You need a clear view of the sky. You may not be able to put up the dish in cities or if you're renting. Bandwidth will be compromised in highly populated cities. Let's take a look at the comparisons between the ground with Starlink's information. All in all, when this service is up and running based on its current beta version data, it outperforms them all based on a combined cost, performance, coverage, ease of installation, and reliability. How will this disruption of technology delivered to the masses disrupt our current internet service providers? How will it disrupt the investments into terrestrial infrastructure? Who will benefit from the whole world being connected? From a valuation standpoint, how much would Starlink be worth if it can deliver the same or better speed and quality of broadband to the world? Do you like our list? Do you agree with our assessments? Please let us know in the comments section below, and please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Click one of these videos to watch more, or click the notification button to be notified of our new videos. Thank you for watching.